What if I told you that the very genesis of the dreaded Boko Haram insurgency, a crisis that has crippled Nigeria's northeast for years, points directly to a former state governor who is not only walking free, but is a prominent member of our ruling party today, that's the APC. That's right, folks. Today we are diving deep into shocking accusation made by renowned human rights lawyer Femi Falana, SAN, against ex-Borno State Governor Modu Sheriff. Falana isn't just alleging, he is daring Sheriff to sue him, promising even more exposure. The chilling part, despite these weighty claims, our government seems to be turning a blind eye and is taking external pressure, specifically from countries like America, for Nigeria to even consider addressing these grave issues of insecurity. So sit back and take a watch.
God is very important. Who started the Boko Haram crisis in Borno State? A governor, one Modu Sheriff, addressed the press 2 days ago and attempted to insult the collective intelligence and memory of Nigerians by denying any links with the dangerous, dreaded Boko Haram sect. I did reply him yesterday, and I'm expecting him to sue me, because he said he wanted to sue an Australian. You don't need to go to Australia. What you are looking for in Sokoto is in the pocket of your Sokoto. I'm ready to join issues with him, because not only did he sponsor that organization by providing funds for them, in 2003, he had a deal with the Boko Haram sect to get him to win the election. And if he won his re-election, he will compensate the organization. When he won that election, he appointed Alhaji Bugu as the Commissioner for Religious Affairs to implement Sharia in that state. When the man attended the first Executive Council meeting, he discovered that they were all talking about contracts and how to steal money. So he went back to the camp, the Boko Haram camp, and said, "Where you send me to is Gida Barawi, the house of thieves. I can no longer be part of them." So he was asked to resign, and that was how Foy resigned from the government of Modu Sheriff. So to say that you don't know them is the greatest lie. I was just reminded this morning by somebody from Borno State that something was missing in my press statement. That in 2012, October 10, Alhaji Modu Sheriff was arrested in Cameroon on grounds of his Boko Haram connection. But the government here pleaded with the Cameroonian authorities to release him, because he's a big man here, he cannot be arrested. But 2 weeks ago, a special envoy of President Goodluck Jonathan, Reverend Stephen Singh Davis, told the whole world that Alhaji Sheriff, the former Chief of Army Staff, Ian Jerika, and some senior officials of the Central Bank of Nigeria have been funding the Boko Haram sect. Up till now, the government has not reacted to this very important information. So when you are looking for the sponsors of Boko Haram, I think we now know where they are.
Welcome back. And as you've just heard, that was Femi Falana saying, not mincing words. He stood there unequivocally stating that former Borno State Governor Modu Sheriff was the architect of Boko Haram crisis in the northeast. This is an incredibly serious allegation, and Falana wasn't just throwing around accusations. He laid out a series of claims that paints a disturbing picture of political opportunism fueling one of Africa's deadliest terror groups. Let us break down especially what Falana exposed. He highlighted a crucial timeline. One man, former Governor Modu Sheriff, started the dreaded Boko Haram crisis in Borno State. Sheriff recently addressed the press, attempting to deny any link with the dangerous sect, but Falana, in his characteristic fearless manner, immediately challenged that denial. He dared Sheriff to sue him, stating he is ready to join issues with him because, as Falana puts it, what Sheriff is looking for is right there in his Sokoto. This isn't just a challenge, it is a profound statement of confidence in the evidence Falana possesses. So, Falana didn't stop there. He went on to assert that Sheriff not only sponsored Boko Haram but provided funds for them. The backstory, according to Falana, dates back to 2003, when Sheriff allegedly made a deal with the Boko Haram sect to secure his re-election. And upon winning that election, he apparently fulfilled part of that bargain. What was that bargain? He appointed Alhaji Buga Fuel as the Commissioner for Religious Affairs with a specific mandate to implement Sharia law in Borno State. Now, here is where it gets even more telling. Fuel, the appointed commissioner, reportedly attended the first executive council meeting. So, what he discovered, according to Falana, the discussion weren't about religious affairs or implementing Sharia, but about contracts and how to steal money. Disgusted, Fuel returned to the Boko Haram camp, declaring that where he was sent was Gidabarawa, the house of thieves, and he could no longer be a part of it. So, consequently, Fuel was asked to resign, making his departure from Sheriff's government. This account suggests a deep-seated connection and a shocking level of political manipulation at the expense of public safety and governance. But the story doesn't end there. Falana reminded us of an even more damning piece of information. On October 10th, 2012, Ali Modu Sheriff was arrested in Cameroon for his Boko Haram connections. Yet, he was released because the Nigerian government, make una dey listen o, the Nigerian government pleaded with the Cameroonian authorities to release him, simply because he was a big man who cannot be arrested. You see wetin dey kill this country? Our government dey kill am. Think about it for a moment. A man accused of such grievous crimes with reported international links to a terrorist organization was reportedly shielded by his own government. This is a profound betrayal of the citizens who are daily subjected to the terror of Boko Haram. Furthermore, Falana referenced a report by Reverend Stephen Davis, a special envoy, if I remember that time, of former President Goodluck Jonathan, who publicly stated that Sheriff, alongside a former chief of army staff and some senior officials of the Central Bank of Nigeria, had been funding the Boko Haram sect. The most frustrating part, as Falana highlighted, is that even with this critical information, the Nigerian government has not reacted. This is precisely where my critical take and indeed many Nigerians' frustration lies. So, Ali Modu Sheriff is not only free, but he is a member of the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC. Can you imagine that? How can we claim to be fighting insecurity when alleged sponsors openly accused by credible figures like Falana are allowed to strive within the political system? The lack of investigation, prosecution, and accountability for individuals like Sheriff sends a clear message that certain people are above the law, no matter the gravity of their alleged crimes against humanity. It is almost as if our government waits for international pressure, as I mentioned earlier, for America or other foreign entities to get involved before taking decisive action on matters of national security. The pain, suffering, and loss of life caused by Boko Haram are immeasurable. For the victims and their families, justice delayed is justice denied. We cannot effectively combat terrorism if we refuse to combat its alleged enablers within our own borders, regardless of their political stature. So, when you are looking for the sponsors of Boko Haram, perhaps we should look closely to home. It's time our government take these accusations seriously, launches independent investigation, and ensures that anyone found culpable, no matter how highly placed, faces the full wrath of the law. Until then, the fight against insecurity will remain a deeply compromised one. So, what do you make of Femi Falana's assertion? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to Obas Trending Gist for more hard-hitting discussions, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next upload. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.